All right, welcome to part 2 of my Wild Turkey Generations review. Now, yesterday when I reviewed Generations, my recommendation was to try before you buy. I also mentioned while I love the concept of Generations being created by Jimmy, Eddie, and Bruce, the $450 price point compared to the values of some other amazing Wild Turkey bottles out there made it a tough sell. Well, today we're gonna put Generations up against 3 other great bottles from Wild Turkey: Russell's 13, Russell's Single Rickhouse, Camp Nelson F, and Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Let's see how Generations holds up. Was I right? Was I wrong? Let's see what happens. It's the Mash and Drum. What's up, folks? I'm Jason C from the Mash and Drum, and welcome back to the show. Like, subscribe, help grow the channel for 2023. So as you can see here, the menu tonight is turkey. The menu is just, I cannot wait to do this blind tasting here. Obviously, we all love Russell's 13, absolutely stellar bottle. This Russell's Reserve Single Rickhouse Camp Nelson F this year I think is also stellar. Everybody pretty much loves Rare Breed, and we're gonna see how it does against Wild Turkey Generations. Will Generations come out on top? Will it do better than I think it will? We'll see what happens. So let's run through the bottles first real quick. First one, we have Wild Turkey Rare Breed, bottled at 116.8 proof, reportedly a blend of 6, 8, and 12-year-old barrel-proof bourbons. Price, only about 50 bucks. Next up is Russell Reserve 13. This is batch 2 from December of 2021. It's bottled at 114.8 proof. It's non-chill filtered, supposedly a blend of bourbons from about 13 all the way up to maybe 19 years old. Price for this is about 150 bucks. Now, before anyone asks why I'm using batch 2, it's because it's open. All the Russell's 13 batches are special and delicious in my opinion. I don't buy into the whole, this batch is much better than this batch. They're all awesome. Anyone that tells you one batch is so much better than another batch, it's a joke. All right, small rant over. Next up is Russell Reserve Single Rickhouse Camp Nelson F, reportedly a blend of 10 to 15-year-old bourbon from the storied Camp Nelson F warehouse. 117.6 proof, it's non-chill filtered, very limited release here, and priced at about 300 bucks. And lastly, we have Generations, bottled at 120.8 proof. It's non-chill filtered with approximately only 5,000 bottles being released. It's a blend of 9, 12, 14, and 15-year-old bourbons selected by Bruce, Eddie, and Jimmy Russell. Suggested retail price for this one, 450 bucks, and the most expensive in this lineup. All right, guys, these have all been poured blind for me. I used the all black Glencairns. There's a pretty distinct color difference with all 4 of these. I did not want to get swayed by the color and kind of figure out what's what, so I wanted to go completely blind, not see color, not know obviously what's in what glass. All right, let's dive in. Here we go. This is gonna be good. Turkey Day. Oh man, the first one out of the gate is awesome. This is super sweet on the nose, already awesome. Just creamy, like vanilla icing, toffee, almost like a rich vanilla extract type note. That nose is just awesome. Really inviting. A little bit of dark brown sugar here too, like candied orange. This one is very rich and dark. I wonder if that's already, I'm leading off the 13 there. We'll see. All right, second glass. Oh, okay. This one brings you into way more of an oak punch. Deep, rich cherry. A lot of cherry in this one, actually. Again, more of the dark brown sugar. Man, that's nice. All right, let's go to number 3. This one reminds me a little bit of 2, where I get a good amount of oak. This one is a little bit more baking spice heavy though. It's not as sweet. I'm not getting, I feel like the cherry is here, kind of like glass 2, but I feel like I get more of a, like cinnamon clove, you know, a little bit more of an oak punch here. Not a sweet oak, more of like an aged oak. Man, as you kind of stay in the glass, this goes from sweet to savory to oak. I don't know, between these two, both have really great noses. All right, last one here. Wow, this one is a citrus bomb to me, coming off these other 3. This one is a light, bright toffee, cinnamon, and just a ton of citrus to me. Probably more of like along the lines of like an orange rind, like juicy fruit gum a little bit. Got some good, just really good sweet flavors here too. All of them are pretty punchy in just strength of, you know, what I'm getting here on the nose. But as far as like just all 4 of them being absolute hitters, I mean, they're really good. So on the nose, all 4 of them. So let's start with glass 1. Let's taste it. Here we go. Holy crap. That one just explodes on the palate. Absolutely stellar. Man, everything that I got on the nose, I'm getting on the palate, but everything is just completely amped up. It's basically like liquid wild turkey extract. That is so good. It just has all these rich flavors, all these rich components, the brown sugar, the vanilla icing, the toffee. It's like liquid candy. I mean, this thing is, that's the first one. That's really good. I don't know if that's Russell's 13 or not. I don't think so. Could that be Generations? I don't know, gonna find out. All right, number 2 here we go. Oh man. All right, so, man, the palate, this one's awesome too. So definitely more of an oak presence here in glass number 2. And again, that cherry note that I was getting on the nose is definitely coming out here in the second glass as well. All right, another sip of the second one here. Man, the dark fruit flavors in glass 2 are stellar. It's a different experience than 1. 1 I love. I think actually 1 has a little bit more of like a flavor punch to it. And it's also got a little bit more of an elevated sweetness compared to 2. 2 really brings you in with the oak and the spice, and the finish on glass 2 is ridiculous. It goes on forever. I mean, just the lengthy spice here, that rich like grape cherry, like almost like a raspberry type flavor in the middle part of it is really, really good. Between 1 and 2, I already don't know which one I like better. All right, let's go to number 3 here. This was the one that had a little bit more of a savory baking spice punch to it. All right, let's try it on the palate. What the hell? Man, you know what? Number 3's got like this, I don't think it's as punchy as 1 and 2 as far as like flavor in the front of the palate. But man, from mid to back palate, it goes crazy. The rich like dark fruit notes that I'm getting here, along with like that classic turkey citrus. And then it actually ends with like this really nice aged oak type of note where you're kind of getting into the like sweet tobacco leather type of aspects to it. I thought 1 was sweet, but I think 3, you can argue, is just as sweet, but you add some oak texture to it, and then, man, 3's good. You know, it's kind of, you know, that's the kind of the beauty of wild turkey. They have 2 mash bills, a bourbon and a rye mash bill. And they do so many different things with their bourbon mash bill. I don't know which one I like more out of the first 3. All right, let's go to 4. Now 4 was the most citrus forward. Wow, 4 is really good too. Man, yeah, the citrus really punches through on number 4. But one thing number 4 doesn't have is the depth of the first 3. It is good though. Yeah, this gets way into more of like the vanilla ice cream, toffee, a lot of citrus, really good spice to this one too. Man, this one, that other sip, this one got better here. Hold on. Oh man, I don't know. All 4 of these, it's amazing how different they all are. I think 2 and 3 might be the closest in flavor profile. 1 and 4 seem to be kind of the outliers. So that's kind of the best way I can break them up right now. Now I did take a sip of water just so you guys know. I just kind of cut that part out. Everyone asked me, are you taking sips of water? Yes, I'm taking sips of water in between. That's why you need to take multiple sips, because when you have that sip of water and then you take a sip of whiskey, usually the residual water that's in your that's on your palate will actually affect that first sip. So you got to take multiples here. All right. So I think here's my ranking. I'm gonna keep number 4 right where it is. I think I'm gonna keep number 3 right where it is. It's these 2 that are the favorites here today, between 1 and 2. These are so good. I have to give it to number 2. Number 2 just has so much going on. All right, here's my ranking. Let's find out what is in glass number 4 first. this goes to, what the hell does that say? Oh, okay, so not a surprise, but kind of deep down, I kind of wish, you know, it did a little better. But this is the Wild Turkey Rare Breed, 116.8 proof, absolutely stellar bottle. The fact that the finish on this can hang with these, I think says a lot about Wild Turkey Rare Breed and how good it is and what a quality barrel-proof bourbon that's available for 50 bucks or less in some places. All right, so now we get to the big three. So that means Russell's 13, Camp Nelson F, Single Rickhouse is still in here, and of course Generations. What took the third spot? If I had to guess, I'm thinking it could be Camp Nelson Rickhouse F. I don't know, let's see. No shit. This is Wild Turkey Generations. Wild Turkey Generations gets third. This one's gotta be Russell's 13. It's just too dark and rich, and yeah, that's where we're at, guys. So, number 2, Camp Nelson, Single Rickhouse, letter F, and first place, the incomparable, the unbeatable, Russell's 13. Russell's 13, guys, is, I'm sorry, it's still the king. It's still the king. It's $150. This looks like an absolute, like when this came out, people were, you know, worried how, you know, how expensive it was. But this is looking like a way better value now compared to, I'll say this, the Camp Nelson F, the Single Rickhouse, is way closer to Russell's 13 than I think Generations is. Russell's 13, with that explosion of oak and cherry and dark fruit and that long, ridiculous finish, I think just really took it. I think the Single Rickhouse this year, it's got a lot of elevated sweetness, and I think the viscosity is what really kind of took over, and the amount of flavor punch you get right in the front of the palate, which is something I thought Generations was missing. Generations is good up front, but not as good as these two. And the back palate of Generations, I think, is where it shines. But is it a $450 bourbon? Again, I love the story of it. I just don't think it holds up to these two. And this is where it goes into my point where I think Wild Turkey is a victim of their own success. They're making such good whiskeys, such good bourbons at cheaper prices that it was going to be a hard sell for this one to stand out. Again, great story. Love the lineage of it, of, you know, Jimmy, Bruce, and Eddie all coming together to make this. You know, when you think about these other bottles that they've created, it's hard to hold up. And then you have Rare Breed, which is just, I don't care what anybody says, Rare Breed is probably one of the best, besides the Logic Craig Barrel Proof, one of the best values on the shelf. There you go. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed part 2 of Wild Turkey Generations, where we put it up against Russell's 13, Single Rickhouse, Camp Nelson F, and Rare Breed. It fell to third place. Russell's 13 is just too damn hard to beat, but this Camp Nelson F from Single Rickhouse, I think, is really, really good this year as well. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the subscribe button below. Please hit the like button. If you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram. Let me know if you thought this was how it's going to shake out. Did you think the order would be a little bit different? Does this confirm your decision about Generations, or are you willing to pay the money for it? Let me know down in the comments. This was a fun couple of episodes to do. And with all that said, like I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. So before we do that, we're gonna make a, I don't know, what are we gonna call this blend? That actually smells amazing. I'm gonna call this the Golden Gobbler. The Golden Gobbler. And it smells that way. All right, let's try it here. You know what? Actually works pretty damn good. I like it. See you next time right here on The Mash and Drum. Cheers, guys.